Oh, one time I went down a rabbit hole of just tracking all the Sanderson appearances on some of the most like podunk, smallish, like mom and pop podcasts and video streams and stuff. And it's like these people have like maybe 1,000 views or something, and he just shows up just and treats them just as like they're just as important as everybody else. And I'm like, I love this dude.
Yeah.
Love him. I love everything
the guy's
about
a machine.
that.
He's a machine. And he teaches a class. He's a full-time professor.
And teaches. Right now, someone's like stressing because they're taking one of his quizzes.
I saw something today and someone made a joke saying, when Sanderson like gets a writer's block and he takes a break from writing, he writes another book accidentally. Like
right.
He'll take a break from writing a book to write another book. Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised if that joke turned into he takes a break and ghostwrites somebody else's books.
Well, he finished the Wheel of Time, so he did ghostwrite or not. Well, it wasn't really ghostwriting, but he did write something else.
George R. Martin, reach out to your boy.
Oh yeah,
reach out to your boy Sanderson, please.
Finish it up.
Give us hope.
Our Patrick Rothfuss.
Oh, that's right. One you were talking about on the other episode. That's right.
Yeah, he's the other one too. There's another meme out there about like the longer your beard is, the less likely it is to finish your books. And it's a picture of like George R. Martin with his big beard, and then Patrick Rothfuss has a long beard, and then it's Brandon shaven,
right?
Like baby face, like just pumping out books.
All the bullet points for the books are hidden in that beard somewhere.
Exactly.
Needle in a haystack.
Yeah. He said that Audible takes like 75% of the profits for new authors. That's right. Yeah. So they screw up.
God, 75.
Basically, Audible's like, you can't make it big without us. So if you want to use our platform and you're not big already, then we're going to take 75% of your profits. And they're like, and Sanderson's like, screw you. Like, they don't do that to like Sanderson. They give him like awesome deals, but he's like, I don't need your money. Like,
right.
Yeah, especially indie authors and like people that don't have a giant publisher to fight for them for those negotiation deals. The indie authors get just screwed by Audible. So,
right.
This episode is brought to you by Audible. Sorry, our sponsor.
And also from our other sponsor, Fight for the Meritocracy. Come on now, I'm all about it. All right.
So fun times. A little bit of the world of writing that you guys didn't know about. But now you know, and know how the evil corporations of Amazon just screw over people. So yeah. So anyway, go buy the book at your bookstore or find it on Spotify. If you want to. Not you guys, because we're going to read that eventually.
And support your local authors, people. All your small authors. Get into it. Too. Independent authors. Support them. Yeah.
And as I just made an Amazon order today, I'm like, screw Amazon. I click my box and
episode brought to you by.
It's like Amazon, but damn, it's convenient.
That's right.
I think I got a package on Friday.
Everybody's probably got an empty Amazon box somewhere in their house right now.
Yeah, sure. But anyways, as far as any other announcements, I don't have any. That's the only thing I was really excited about. Other than that, just kind of, it's October. I'm drinking an Oktoberfest because it's October, even though Oktoberfest actually starts in September. Most people don't realize that. Yeah, Oktoberfest. Yay, October.
Or like the Sam Adams guy calls it, Octo Beer Fest.
Weird.
He's from Boston.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to Oktoberfest next year, but my wife kind of vetoed that. And after thinking about it, so there's a Wheel of Time con in Europe every year called Malkir Con. Anyways, next year they're talking about doing it in Prague, which is where the TV show is being filmed. So I was like, maybe we can make a European vacation out of it. I can go to the con and then we can go travel over because it's right before Oktoberfest to Germany. And then we can go, do Oktoberfest. But my wife's not really big into the giant crowds and sitting inside a beer tent for 12 hours straight singing songs, which that's all I'm all about. But she's not really about that. So
12 hours is a long time to do anything.
It is.
That's all I'm saying.
But it just be an experience. But I think we think we still might do it, but we might do just go down to Italy instead and just hang out near a vineyard and drink a lot. without
Do
crowns.
it. Do it.
Just vineyards. Yeah. So that's anyway. We'll see. That's still months and months away, and a lot of planning to take place before that happens. So, how about you guys? Anything new, exciting? I know just a little bit. Also, Alana's gonna be gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, fam. I have been on every episode, but it's going to have to be 2 weeks without me. So sorry.
Going to the Great North.
Yeah.
Scandinavia.
That's right. So, yeah, we're going to be hitting Sweden, then Norway, then Finland, and then Denmark, which, of course, Finland is not technically part of Scandinavia. Yeah. And then scooting on back through Iceland on the way back.
Oh,
so,
cool.
So,
yeah.
So 2 weeks I will not be able to be around. Again, I was saying before the podcast, I was thinking maybe it'd be a cool flex if I could try to get on the episodes, but both times that the recordings will be happening, I'll be on planes, so that's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
so
it's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Will, anything new, exciting in your world?
No, nothing really. A lot of nothing this weekend because we've been moving around a lot for the last month, visiting family and stuff. So I went to a housewarming party on Saturday. That was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Good deal.
I butt dialed Will earlier this week for left him like a 10-minute voicemail of probably just swishing pants sounds.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I was like in the office working like end of quarter busy, and I was like, oh, thank God, a friend is calling me. I can go take a break. And I called him back, and he was like, oh, did you get my butt dial? I was like, fuck. You want to talk to me? Back to the office, slave.
Back to the office.
Oh man,
exactly. Well, without further ado, you guys ready to jump into these chapters with good old Cett's daughter and all of the funness that comes with Lord Cett's daughter?
Yes, let's get into this little lady.
Aliana, I can't pronounce the names. Ariane, thank you, Cett. Yeah, so she shows up, super excited to see Breeze. And Ellen's just like, damn, you called it. And he's like, yeah, I was kind of joking. I didn't think that Breeze actually did it. So we get this nice little fun little interaction where she's ran away from Daddy because Daddy took her to war, and she wants to be more, and she can't stand the tents because she's this little snobbish princess. And do you have any thoughts about her?
Oh, I love the fact that Breeze likes them thick. He likes them thick. Go Breeze, go. And I love the nickname. She's like Breezy. And I was like, oh, I can't even fathom it. It's just like, it doesn't even make sense to me. I'm like, what? But the fact that he likes them thick, I was like, all right, Breeze.
Well, Breeze tries to deny it. He's just like, no, it wasn't a thing except for that one guy. Except for that one thing. That could have been. That was taken the wrong way. I was taken completely the wrong way. It was. It was nothing. And she's just like, oh, Breezy.
He could have called that girl Moped because he likes riding her behind the scenes, but doesn't want to be seen on her. There it is. Thick. Let's just say she was comely. How about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Breeze.
So they end up joking around with each other a whole lot. Then Vin comes in and it's like, Breeze, she's a child. She's like, well, first, no, she's not. She's. It's like, and you're old. It's like, and second, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Then kind of has this little back and forth.
It reminds me of Wedding Crashers with Vince Vaughn and the one crazy girl. It's like the father of the bride's daughter.
Yeah.
Because I'll find you. Like,
I'll find
she's
you.
She's
like the crazy girl meme where she's got the eyes like wide open.
Yeah. She's latching on to Breeze because Breeze did something right. She's like, he's so nice and wonderful.
Yes, I love the fact though too that I mean, Breeze always is like just so like he's got an answer for everything. He is so caught off guard by the situation. He's befuddled. He has words are escaping him. He doesn't know what to do with himself. And I'm like, oh man, it's like Breeze, how you gonna get out of this bucket of syrup?
He tries attacking Ven too. I mean, he goes like, he's like,
yeah.
I remember you and Kelsier, and she's like, no, I never pined over Kelsier. And it's like, he's like, sure, a strapping young man comes in and sweeps you out of poverty, and you didn't have a thing for him.
Yeah,
and finally, Ellen's like, okay, that's enough. Like, let's cut this off. So Ellen says,
I like the respect they start giving Ellen though.
Yeah,
it's already starting to come into shape because Ellen even says something about it. It's starting to come into fruition about like it's like they're starting to have a little bit more respect for him, his authority, his status, etc. I like that, which he needs to establish. So good. Yeah.
And of course, Dox is the one that comes right out and says, like, well, if we keep her around, could make for an interesting bargaining chip. And Vin's like, you really want to take her hostage? And it's like, and Doc says, someone has to state the obvious, Vin. And they kind of go back and forth, and they kind of agree that it's a good bargaining chip one way or the other. Like either to try to form an alliance, giving her back, or keeping her as a So at this point, it kind of adds another thing to the mix, and Ellen decides, we'll keep her around. I guess she wants to stay here anyway. She came on her own will for some pastries.
That's right. Because she's like directing the pastry chef.
Yeah.
I like my croissants made with a slight tint of thickness on them, please.
Extra butter.
Extra butter.
She comes across as that spoiled brat, though. Like, Daddy, I want the golden goose, like from Willy Wonka. Like, Daddy, buy me a golden goose.
Definitely. Yeah.
My dad took me to war, and the camps are just not right. So I come out here because you
are filthy. And the men were looking at me. Me.
No one is quite as wonderful as Mr. Breeze.
Oh, Mr. Breeze.
Mr. Ladrian.
So now we have the Cett's daughter, right? And then we have Ellen is obviously Lord Straff's son. So now we have like a tie to Cett's army, a tie to Straff's army. So it's kind of interesting, like how they're getting bound together even more. So we're building. Sanderson's building.
Yeah, it's complicating things a bit. All you need is just some type of tether to this third army, and then you'd be ready to go, right? But right now they don't really have any type of bargaining chip or anything there. It's just a bunch of what did I call him last time? I can't remember.
Ham needs to marry a Colossus? I don't know.
Oh, good God. No. One of the flappy skin characters? No.
Yeah.
Flappy skin.
No. Well, that's all that army is. It's just a bunch of flappy skin blue things.
Yeah, Flap skins. Meet the flap skins. Yeah,
Ellen says she stays for now. Perhaps we'll force her to return eventually, but right now, she'll stay. And even thinks to himself, I'll do what I can. I make decisions now, and see what needs to be made, and I'll accept the consequences. It's in her thoughts. Like this could backfire. Even Ellen thinks this might not be a great idea, but we'll see it out.
Right.
Instead of like sitting back and overthinking it, he's like, make a decision, go with it, and accept the consequences. I think that's like a sign of his maturity as well and confidence, 100%. I guess.
Yeah.
And plus, he's not really making a decision if you think about it. All he's doing is saying, let's leave the status quo right where it is while we consider to understand our options in the situation.
Yeah.
So
she can stay for now.
Yeah, stay for now. She's already there, so just let her hang around, eat some pastries, blah blah blah. Yeah,
I still love Breeze.
I like him even more now because of the fact that he can actually be like caught off guard and befuddled. I mean, Because
He's great.
he seems always unflappable. I think about even when he's like riding away from the army on the horse and blah blah blah, and he gets sets
Oh, yeah.
down. He comes into Itadel. He's like, "Yeah, man, you know what? I'm good." He gets here, and he's like, "Oh no, oh well. See, I didn't know that girl."
What happened was
Right. I love it.
Yeah. So anything from this? I mean, this whole chapter is based around this. I mean, it's a very short chapter, literally only like a few pages. And it's mostly the dialogue of them bashing on Breeze and Breeze trying to defend himself.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anything else you missed before you move into the mist?
Nothing for me.
All right. Chapter 22. Yeah, there's another one of these little epigraphs or whatever, but this one's short. There's not much to it, so I was going to read out loud. Just more about he was not argumentative. Chaos and stability. The mist was both. That's how we start this. So Vin's in the mist, from Vin's point of view, and she's over here kind of like fretting over losing control and the changing circumstances and everything that's changing around her, and she just wants to get out, and changing but eternal. Yep. So she's having a little bit of a self-crisis, I guess, kind of sort of little mini one.
Yeah, it's almost like she's having an internal conflict ever since the Lord Ruler, went down. You see the changes in the mist. You almost feel like there's a tie to Vin in the mist, because she's like, whether it's because like Kelsier's not there anymore, or just the whole team dynamic shifting, or whatever it may be, she's definitely like not as stable, I guess, as she was in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
don't feel like she's ever been that confident about anything ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, and again, I keep coming back to her age. She's young. I mean, she also did something that no one thought could even be done, taking down the Lord Ruler.
Right.
Yeah, I think she's struggling a lot, but she also lost her mentor. I think about the fact that, my boss at my job is retiring in November. I just came in June. I'm still like learning from this dude. And then like, I only got a few months with him and he's going to be out. And I'm like, what is it going to be like for me when he's gone? I don't have him as a, someone I can lean on. And I feel like that's the same thing with Vin. I mean, because she's a Mistborn. It's not like she has a lot of people that she can lean on. Yeah, I mean, there's other Allomancers around, but right now she's only got one other Mistborn she can kind of quote unquote learn from, and he's half insane, possibly. We don't know, what that insanity is like and what's going on there. So I feel like she's in a bad state, unfortunately. But I feel like pretty much all of it is just based on the fact that she doesn't really have anybody who can be her rudder right now. So,
yeah. So the reason why she's also out there, she's searching for someone in particular, which is Ham. Or she's stalking him at least. He's kind of walking around. She's quietly like moving around, and the whole reason why is she's trying to get close enough to flare her bronze and see if he is the Conjure.
Right.
Yeah, and as soon as she does, Osir jumps out and howls, and Sam spins around really fast and flares pewter. And of course, Finn detects it right away, and before Ham can react and land a punch on Osir, Finn's like, "Oh, it's me, Ham. It's me, Ham. Shut up." Yeah. So, he's like, "Vin, what are you doing out here? Why are you like?" It's like, "I'm sorry, the hound startled you. We're just out doing comes with some excuse or whatever."
Right.
But then get into a conversation, quickly evolves into a conversation around like ATM, that she's out of ATM. How do pewter arms are the ones that usually fight. They're the thugs. They're the guys that get out front and punch things. So if they run into a Mistborn, what kind of tips does she have for Vin? And and basically he has really pretty straightforward answer. That's was pretty obvious, but at the same time it's a good answer. I mean, he says there's two ways: you either surprise them, or before they convert ATM, or you put them in an unavoidable trap where everywhere's a loss.
Right.
I mean, it just always makes. I'm a big chess player, so it always makes me think of like chess. Like when you ever do a smother mate. I don't know if you ever done smother mate. It's really rare in chess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's super rare. It's done with a knight when literally you move the knight to a position where the king can't move, and only the knight is checking them, and they're like in the middle of the board, but they're surrounded by pieces, so they can't move, and they're smothered. But yeah,
right.
It's unavoidable. Yeah, which is I've done it like twice in my life, which is always makes me feel good. But anyway, so it made me think of that. Just the how to beat ATM. You put them in a place where every outcome loses. That's the only way. So, any thoughts about this?
I felt like the surprise tactic wasn't really. I mean, could that work? How do you surprise a Mistborn if they can like sense another Mistborn through like allomantic pulses? Like, I felt like the surprise tactic wasn't good, but the cornering and like the unavoidable trap was good. So.
Well, you're also getting advice from an Allomancer, not from another Mistborn, too.
Yeah.
So I take it with a grain of salt.
Good point.
Because how does he know?
It seems
how does he really know?
Yeah. Well, it seems like the lack of ATM is a problem. So, in some form or fashion, Ben's going to have to figure out how to fight without it and how to beat a Mistborn with ATM. So,
right.
Rapho.
Yep. Of course, it's gonna be Rapho. Yep. I think the surprise him thing is more apropos than the whole trying to corner somebody and put them in a situation where they can't escape or overcome. I think that's unlikely. I mean, I just don't see that happening. But I can see it happening where it's like you really surprise somebody and they have no idea they're being attacked, and you get them before they can even burn the ATM. I think that's probably the better play.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Vin kind of surprised Shan in the first book, and it wasn't ATM that really helped. Yeah, that's what your wife said, Will.
Very astute, honey.
But it was ATM, so that doesn't
really.
She gets a pass. She just got caught up today. So.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. True. So yeah, so this is kind of how we end the conversation with Ham, and then they make it to kind of a top of a wall, I guess. That's the rooftop, the top of a wall, and then we get into the kind of meat and potatoes of this chapter. I think, at least, is that conversation that they have. She has with Osir. So
that was kind of a profound conversation between them.
Yes, very much so.
Like a very pivotal conversation they had. Just with
just why
pretty
she
much hates. like cleaning the slate, like airing it out, right? You were gonna say, like, why don't you like me? Why don't I like you? Let's talk about it.
Exactly.
So Finn finally like let it out, and Osir was like, "Yeah, well, that's part of the contract. That's bullshit. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not offended."
Yeah, I mean,
it did,
and then it gets into the kind of the history behind Kandra, and he lets a little bit out there about like why they had the contract, and you learn a lot the history of the Kandra and how, when they were created, when they first started coming around, they did have the ability to be more powerful, but something about Mistborn, where there are a lot more of them, they could do something to them, but he left it vague on purpose. And she's just kind of wondering, like, so what? And it's like, so they would have hunted us down and killed all of us if we didn't make the contract, because that's what men do. If they fear something, they eradicate it. That's what people do. That's human nature. So the contract is a way of preserving themselves. Like, if we could honor this code of contract where we don't operate outside of our own little groups unless we're under contract. It protects us because then they don't have to fear us, and it's almost like a religion to them. Like they will not break contract because that's so ingrained in their culture.
Right.
But yeah, going back to the whole Aaron grievances thing, that was interesting too. Do you hate me because I ate his bones? And she's like, no, I hate you because you didn't tell me, or you didn't tell any of us. Like you knew Kelsier was going to die because he told you like his plan, and you're the only one that knew,
right?
And he didn't tell any of us. Like that's why I don't like you. Like,
but that's not his problem. That's her problem.
Yeah, right. Because he was like, not telling you was part of the agreement.
Right,
was not allowed to tell you for the contract.
Right. So he did exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yep. So what are your thoughts on all this? On that big coming together? I mean, I think this was a big, like you said, airing grievances and like kind of clearing the slate, so maybe they can work better as a team now going forward. Maybe building some little trust. I mean, obviously, Osier has this whole thing where he doesn't really like people in general. I mean, he even admits to that. He's like, yeah, this is contracts. Like, I don't really care for my masters. And they go into the whole thing about being beaten and, like, it's, yeah, but, I come from a rough area too. It's like, yeah, but you can't understand how it is to be a Khandra where literally I can't be killed by being beat. So like I can literally be killed in the morning and serve dinner for you at night. Like, and I have had masters like that. So
it was interesting because then Vin comes back and talks about Cayman and how he used to beat the crap out of her.
Yeah.
And that brought Osier and Vin like to a similar level where Osier was like, oh, wow. Like, and then there's that realization that Vin and Osier met when he was Lord Renault or whatever. And he just assumed she was part of Kelsier's crew. This allowed him to see more of her backstory and that like she really comes from a rough background, got abused by Cayman, like lived in the streets, blah, 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 blah. So like, I think Osier was able to see like, damn, she's been through some stuff too. Like that's, it kind of balances the playing field a little bit because I think, he was looking to her as a master. Granted, he says like, you're one of the better masters I've ever had, which is like a compliment from a Khandra. But it lets him realize that she is a better master because she's been through similar things that he's been through. So,
right.
I just love Osier's comment about like Kelsier, where she's like talking to him. It's like, well, you served Kelsier for 2 years, and Kelsier wasn't that kind of master to you. And Osier goes, wasn't he? She goes, no. He goes, oh well, if you command me to believe that, then yes. I'll agree with you.
Right.
Poor guy.
I feel like we're glossing over though. To me, the big takeaway in this whole sequence was she's trying because he's like, hey, why we do this like sneak up on Ham thing? Yeah. And she's like, tells it. She's like, oh, okay, well, we're just trying to, suss out whether or not, he can actually use allomancy. And he's like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. And then he is so evasive about her questions about using allomancy. Yes. And so he kind of says, nope, we're not allomancers, because she said, they have confirmed it, that a Khandra can't absorb the bones of an allomancer and then become an allomancer. But there's nothing that said they couldn't already be allomancers before they absorb the bones and still have allomancy powers. So she asks him like point blank. She's like, can you do that? And he's like, nah. But it's just the way he says it. And then she kind of asks some other questions later on. And I'm like, it doesn't mean he can't use ferrochemy. So I'm like, I'm still thinking there might be something else there.
I just picture Osier like as Dave Chappelle on the stand, like, I plead the fifth. The fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He just keeps doing different variations of saying the fifth. Yes. I mean, that's him. He's so evasive in that moment. And I'm like, this guy is not going to give up the goods. He's not. No. But he's like, yeah, well, I I don't know what what are we talking about? So he's good. He's good. He'd definitely be good on stand. That's all I'm saying. He'd be good on the stand.
Yeah. No. If it and actually he even references the contract a bunch of times. He's like, yeah, well, the contract says I don't have to answer that, so I'm not going to.
Right.
But he hints around a few things. I mean, he definitely says that the Conjurer were scared of Mistborn, and she takes note of that, saying like,
yeah,
why? And he's like, I don't think I can answer that, but we scared of you. And there's not as many Mistborn now as there were back then.
Right. He says that, and I was like, what happened to the Mistborn then? So, man, I feel like Alondo theory here. I feel like there was some selective breeding going on from 1,000 years ago, whether it was the Lord Ruler or whatever. I mean, we've already got the Terrace people have already been through this like selective breeding, so we know it's already happening, right?
Sure.
Then we have this Koloss conundrum, whatever you would call that. Weird breeding, something happening there, right? Then we've got, only the nobility have the ability to have like, allomancy or Mistborn powers, etc. It can't go down to the ska. Then there's even talks about like the way like certain people are certain heights and things like that. There is a bunch of selective breeding mutation. I won't say mutation exactly, but there's some genetic manipulation happening here that I think that the Lord Ruler was doing. And that's the reason why everybody's all over the place. And I think that the Conjure is part of it. I don't know exactly how yet, but this all kind of feels like this has all been engineered some way or another. We just don't know how and why. And I think because all these records are lost, no one knows how or why. So that's my theory.
Okay. Interesting.
We'll see if that theory holds up. But
I like it. No, I like it. Sure. Rapho. I mean, that's all I'm going to say about any of that. But
right.
And then after much thought about everything, Vin goes back to asking about Kelsier, and asking about his life before Kelsier even recruited him. I mean, she asked him, what was your life like? And his answer is, I don't understand how that has to do with find the imposter. So why would you even ask for that? And she's like, it doesn't. I'm just trying to get to know you better. Like, I figure we can be friends or something. Right. He's like, yeah. He just gets quiet. And she's like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then after that, that's when they get into the whole thing about being beat and stuff like that. And he kind of goes in like, they can't kill you though. Like they can beat you, but they can't like literally kill you and then just feed you new bones, and then do that over and over again because they can do that to us. Yeah. I guess Vince was, I don't know. People are strange. And it's interesting. I mean, because it's almost like they have this like bonding moment, but at the same time, there's still that hesitant.
Yeah. There's still a divide between them. They're getting closer.
Yeah.
But there's still a divide there.
Yeah. And there's a lot of talk of like, can a Conjure act without a contract? And that was like when he starts talking about, the history of the contract and stuff like that, but, because they asked about that, like, because could a Conjure kill someone if he wasn't under contract?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, no, everything's the contract. Like, we don't leave our people unless we're in a contract. Like, in fact, you have to take a certain amount of years off between contracts or whatever. I think he said that. Like, if my contract was voided, then I would have to go back and wait a while before I can retake another one.
Yeah, I need to see one of these Council of Conjure meetings because right, I feel like it's all like up in the air right now. And I'm like, I want to see what happens at these special council meeting sessions that they have where they like.
Well, you're a picture of the Jedi Council, like where it's like a round room.
Yeah,
and they're all kind of around there, except instead of like Jedi's is just like bags of antlers, just sitting there.
Yes.
Yes.
Has to be, right? And some of the bags of antlers are actually
Just bags
hologrammed
up there,
in,
bro.
you know, just like the Jedi Council. I mean, yeah, I'm like, I want to see these guys sit around, just a bunch of like just beanbag chairs of like skin, and they're just like, and so we have agreed that unless people specifically request it and it's part of the contract, they will not know that we love popcorn. Okay, very good, very good.
Yeah.
On to the next item. I want to see that boring ass meeting the Conjurer have where they like establish all these rules.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the number one rule though is basically the Fight Club rules, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because the first rule of
much.
Conjura is you don't talk about
Talk about
Conjura. And the
Conjurers.
second rule of Conjura is you don't talk about Conjura.
What do you think conjures look like in their true form?
I just said beanbags. That's what they look
just
like.
beanbags?
They're
Okay.
They're
Just
beanbag
beanbags.
chairs. That's all they are. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just blobs. You ever seen the blob?
Yeah. They look like Grimace without the skeleton.
Awesome.
Right?
And doesn't Vin say something about like actually, you know, taking the contract away or something like that? I'm trying to remember if that's.
I don't
Maybe
remember.
I'm thinking-
Oh, she tries to like void the contract, right?
Yeah,
So she-
and he refuses. He's like, "Yeah, you can't do that." Well, no, that's when he goes on to saying, like, "Yeah, I wish I will." It's like, "I would, if you wish, I will free you from a contract." Is what she says, and Esther says, "And what would that change? I just go get another contract."
Right.
And she's like, "Well, at least can you accept my apology?" He goes, "He's like, it'd be foolish if I resented you for for following your contract." Yep, still doesn't fix things. I still have to wear this cursed dog body. And he goes on about how he doesn't necessarily like that he's gotten used to the dog. He does see some advantages now, but at the same time, he's not really happy about wearing a dog's body. But he's warming up to it very slowly. There are some advantages to the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else from all this before?
Nothing from me.
I think they're lizard people. I think they look like lizards.
They're like
Nice.
V. What is that show? Yeah, the show's called V, right? When it's like they peel back their skin and it's just like lizard people. So that's what you're saying? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
I haven't
then,
seen
as
that,
they're
but yeah.
talking, they get cut short because all of a sudden she hears footsteps, and no one should be out this time of night. So she's like, suddenly goes in straight like Zane. Is it Zane? Like panic mode, and she
Yeah.
sees him kind of in the mist, and it's this tall figure, too tall for Zane, and she's like getting ready for like a fight mode, kind of thing, and just kind of peers out there. And it's like, wait a second, is that the Terraceman? Is that? It's Sazed.
It's your boy Sazed.
It's Sazed.
That's right. That's right. The moment she said he was too tall, I was like, well, there's very strict guidelines on these like different people types. And so the moment she said too tall, I was like, well, that's definitely Sazed. Who else is it going to be? So
Yeah. Ah, Lady Ven. I was beginning to wonder how long it would take you to find me. Yeah. So, he comes back and he says, we need to talk. We got problems. She's like, what is it? He goes, problems. Like, lots of problems. We got to get everybody together. So,
yeah.
And that's how we end this chapter.
Yep.
Problems. There'd be problems. Yeah. I mean, the bulk of this chapter, like I said, the meat and potatoes is really about the Conjure. And I love Conjure, by the way. I know they seem kind of gross in their own way, but it's a really just unique creature in fantasy worlds. But yeah, I love Conjure.
Yeah, it's definitely unique in terms of I've never heard of anything like it in any other media type I have encountered. So
yeah, even like comic books or anything like. I mean, I guess you have like you have what's her name from X-Men that can kind of mimic other people and stuff like that, but still not Mystique.
Yeah,
but that's still not the same.
No,
As this. We have an entire race of people.
She still has to be a human or humanoid type entity. She can't just like morph
dog.
and become like a different like animal or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
I just think about if they didn't have a contract, you could like kill someone, right? Take their bones, and then anyone that trusts those bones that you are now the form of, they trust you, right? You get in the circle,
Mhm.
you just kill the next person and deplete like trees that way, family trees or like social
Sure.
networks that way. Like that's such a powerful. If you're
Yeah.
doing bad things, right? I don't know how you would use it for good, right? Because you have to take
They-
bones, and that
Yeah, but they take
they
the yeah. They I mean take their job very seriously and learning everything about the person they're about to take over, so
Right.
they can mimic everything. Like they research as much as possible.
So the closest thing I can think of as I've been reading is Kirby from Nintendo. You know, all I think of is just Kirby. He like sucks them up. Because Kirby
Because
does
of
that
giant
like
hammer.
in every game. He like sucks people up and he becomes like them, like some like form of them or whatever. So that's all I can think of is Kirby.
Do they have to be like living things that they have to eat to become, or can it be like anything like Kirby, like working on a hammer or something like that? It just
I don't
be
know.
laying there, on the shelf, listening to everything as a spy as like a random spear.
Oh, okay.
Could they just?
I
eat
don't
a
know.
spear
I mean,
and-
we don't have a confirmation of that. Like, you know,
I know. I'm just
can he
asking. She said
become-
Kirby, so I'm going down that.
Yeah, I mean, like if he like if he like ingested like a whole like block of stone or something, could he just like be that block of stone? I have no idea. Sanderson, give us the answers.
Or the book. The
Well, they
book
talk
might
about
eventually.
bones. Like,
Yeah.
do they have to have bones?
They have to
Yeah,
have
they
bones?
talk about bones a lot. So yeah, that part kind of sounds
Look
like
at
that's
the
important,
bones.
right?
Yeah.
Look at the bones.
Look at the
That's
bones.
right.
It is the rabbit.
Behind the rabbit? No, it is the rabbit.
You know, the other thing kind of reminds me of as well, which is kind of the more freaky thing, like the Native American tradition of skinwalkers and things like that. If you go back to cryptology or whatever, like that skinwalkers can be deer or dogs or humans or whatever. And I mean, it goes back to Native American like legend and lore of like scary things like Sasquatch and all sorts of that. I know if you talk to Appalachian people, they say skinwalkers are real, but yeah, Conjure are a lot like that.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff that we read though in sci-fi, if you really ask the authors enough questions, they can trace it back to something they have heard.
Where they get inspiration. Yeah.
Which is the reason why that's the reason why it's so good. Because it's grounded in something that is like either myth or lore or legend or something.
Sure.
And so it just has gravity just because of that. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised by that at all. Yep.
Yeah. You guys ready for chapter 23?
Yep.
The terrorists rejected him, but he came to lead them. I'll read that one. It's really short. So Sazed's now we're fast forwarding because Sazed is now talking to, I guess, Ellen and everyone, saying that, hey, King Lacal, your boy Jastes, has 20,000 kolos.
I didn't realize there's that many, by the way. Yeah. That wasn't really made clear. There was 20,000 of them. I was like, damn, dude, jeez.
Yeah. Which is easily as dangerous as Strath's 50,000 men. Probably even more dangerous because they start going into like the history of the Colossus and like, I think he talks about how like just like a small bit of Colossus just like almost wiped out an entire like legion of another army. Like, dude, yeah.
I tracked the numbers. It's 1 to 5 is what they were saying.
Yeah, 1 to 5.
So 20,000 Kolos can take out 100,000 dudes. That's 2 other armies of about 50,000, which is what we're looking at right now, by the way.
Yeah.
It's 2 armies of about 50,000 and then a 20,000 strong Kolos army. Yeah. So basically they could get into war and probably be like a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
It's bad news all around.
Yeah. and your boys here too. Your boys clubs. Club Cett slumped on the side bench, and his general club scrumpiness.
I love clubs though. That grump. Love
The
it.
grump. Yeah. So yeah, Sazed is just kind of giving us a whole report. You know, and how's he controlling them? And Sazed's like, I don't know. Yeah,
that part that is hurting my brain to understand exactly how they're being controlled.
Yeah.
I mean, because even the way it was explained was like, oh yeah, you know, if they just want to just go off and because they were talking about how, like what they would do after the Lord Ruler died.
Yeah.
And there were like some Colossus that were like in the servitude of I can't remember who, but and they went crazy, turned on.
They were the Lord Ruler. It was in the South after the collapse. So after the Lord Ruler died,
right?
Yeah, Ham was telling us here a story that like in the South there was the same happened in the Northwest. Lord Cett lands are being flooded by refugees. Cett tried to recruit the Kolos garrison from his own lands, and actually he did fall for a time. But then they broke off. They lost nearly 2,000 soldiers just to kill 500 Kolos.
500. So yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how is he keeping 20,000 in check.
Did we ever learn what the House of Lakal did in the last book?
What do you mean? So, like Jastes.
Well, like remember, like what did their house do? Because remember, each of the houses had their own role, right? I'm just wondering if we could remember that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
No,
I don't remember either, and I've read these books multiple times. So, someone in chat probably.
I don't know.
Well, someone in chat will probably be like, "Yeah, so the locales are."
Yeah, someone look it up on Google and put it in the chat, please.
Put it up in the chat.
We can't because we don't want to have the spoilers, but
yeah,
help us out.
Yeah, but Jastes was best friends with Elend. I knew that much from the first, but that's
right.
But are the Kolos under control?
Yes, they have to be kind of because they felt, and I'm just going based off of what happened when Sazed roamed into camp. Right, they caught Sazed, they took him to the main guards, the main underlings of Jastes, and then handed him off. That's control. Right? There was like no bartering that had to happen there. They just knew that they needed to do that. They were following directions. I consider that control. Now, maybe it's very tentative. Maybe it's like on a razor thin wire of trust, but either way it goes, there's still some like modicum of control there. But again, I feel like the whole thing can collapse in a heartbeat. I'm again, I wouldn't be surprised if they like roam out to that camp later and find just a whole bunch of like half-eaten humans. That's all I'm saying. So I don't trust it, but they've gotten this far
and this close. I mean, clubs even ask how far away are they, and he says it took me a little over a week to get here.
Right.
Says, and they're camped about the same time away, but they weren't in any hurry. Looks like, But if they decide to quickly march, about a week.
The whole thing just like I don't get it. So how is he controlling them? So
they had those little pouches. Remember? We don't know what those little pouches are that they have.
The scrotum bags.
The scrotum bags, yeah.
The scrotum bags.
Yeah.
And maybe they're slightly controlled because like they were going off and just randomly killing other Kolos in the other chapter.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just partially controlled. I'm wondering maybe like the promise of an impending battle or something, because they seem like the type of race that just loves to just roam the countryside and just kill things, right? So maybe they're under the promise that like they're getting ready to kill a lot of shit. So they're like, all right, well, we'll wait until we get to do that.
They're also not really
it's kind of a weak.
But they're not really afraid of death though, too. Like death is not like a thing where there's like, like they cower in fear or whatever. It's like they don't care about killing each other. They're like, whatever. Death just happens amongst us. Because what I thought for like a half second last chapter or episode was I was like, what if they're dying from something and he has some cure that can keep them alive? I was like, oh, maybe that's the thing. But they're not really scared of death like that. And I was like, that doesn't really check out or match up. So I'm still just trying to figure out what is it that he has that compels them to want to follow him. It's not blind loyalty. We know that. So, oh, we lost Alan.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, until Alan comes back, we're just like rewatch episodes of The Simpsons.
Let's do it. Pulling it up now.
Nice. Make sure it's gonna be
sharing.
It's got to be the Mr. Plow episode. That's the only one that matters right now.
All right.
Mr. Plow. I love the jacket he wears with the little fur collar on it and everything. There's Alan. He's back.
So I guess you guys got bingo now. My internet dropped.
Hey! Oh, that's right. It was a bingo. I forgot bingo was on the cards for this. Oh,
well,
man, Alan,
just went like tries like your internet has dropped. Like try again. I was like,
nice. I forgot that was one of our bingo items. Alan, you are beholden to bringing that bingo card up. I feel like we're there, man.
No, it's there. You got it. You got
Only
it.
took 22 episodes.
That was it. So you got Ska's Afraid of the Mist, free card, Alana mentions Bag of Antlers, Kel's referred to as a deity, and internet drops midstream. So
bingo.
That is bingo.
Bingo. Yes. I remember when I put that on there too. I was like, the internet's going to drop at some point in time. One of us is going to have a problem. It's just going to drop. I mean, internet does what internet does. So.
Of course, my internet decides to randomly drop. Okay, so
cool. I mean, bad for you, but cool for bingo.
No. I love to do a quick tell some Alan stories. No, don't.
Oh man, shoot, dang it.
Take it.
We should have read and spoke quicker.
So I missed a lot of what you were saying, Alando, but I'm sure it was really profound.
Well, that's fine. No, we were not talking about inappropriate things at all.
Just
we were right on topic. It's like when a teacher goes out into the hall and leaves the classroom, and they come back in. It's like, what were y'all doing? It's like, we were reading the book. Sure you were.
Sure. So yeah. So they're kind of anxious about all this. I mean, this is they don't know what to think of it. Because I mean, it could be a good thing, it could be a horrible thing. If they attack the other two armies, that's great. They stand most to gain from that. Right. But it's a freaking Colossus army, which is terrifying. Because, well, those things are just yeah. Insane.
Flapskins.
Yeah. And even Ellen says, I don't like the idea of Colossus being in the area. I don't care how much of an advantage it is. If they attack the city, like, we're screwed. And Doxson, kind of the man of the words of wisdom. You know, I say to worry about it when they arrive. Until that, continue our plan as intended.
That's all you can do.
Yep. And then Sazed, you mentioned some other news. And that's when he gets into the whole thing about the mist.
Yep.
And Vin perks up right away. He's like, do tell. So yes, apparently the mist is on daytime and it's killing people. And they're like, yeah. And they kind of are really skeptical about this, but Vin's just like, yeah, it's moving in larger patterns, like a rivers. And Sade's like, yeah, just like that.
Yeah, it's like soupy fog.
Yeah, but still can't enter buildings or tents. It evaporates as soon as it does.
Right.
But
the stank keeps them away.
Yeah, the ska stank.
That ska stank. It's potent stuff.
Yeah.
I still don't quite understand though why in the world they were questioning Sazed. Sazed comes back with this knowledge, and he's actually being questioned, and they're like, "Oh, well, maybe you didn't see what you thought you saw." I mean, of all people that you would question,
yeah,
that part just didn't quite mesh up with me. I was like, "Come on, guys!"
But Sazed is also Yeah, he's also presented as not what he witnessed, but what the aftermath, and that it could have been them being bad. He
Maybe.
presents it kind of in a wish-washy way. At least that's how I read it.
Yeah,
But
I can see that.
yeah,
But still, then he starts going into a little bit more explanation about the fact that he followed up on the stories he was told. And I'm like, yeah, that just doesn't. It doesn't. I guess it just seems weird to me that the rest of the crew, any member of the crew, would even take 2 seconds to doubt what Sazed's saying.
mm-hmm.
I mean, this is Sazed. I mean, if he tells you something, odds are there's legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
It's funny, his response is like, you know what? I got more research to do. So he's like,
because that's the way Sazed is.
Yeah.
Even though Sazed has every reason to believe that what he's saying is true, he's still gonna be like, yeah, well, I see your side of it too. So he's gonna do his due diligence to say, well, let me just double, triple check it. But really, he has no reason to. I mean, he's already been double and triple checking this because he was also skeptical before he even brought the issue to them. He was already out in the countryside checking in on what's going on with the mist and everything. So,
what do you think about Sazed omitting Marsh and all that? He didn't bring any of that up as well.
Yeah, that part I'm glad you bring that up because it's like he didn't say a darn thing about that.
Yeah, nothing. About Marsh and going to the cancer, the whatever the
Marsh's concerns, none of it. He didn't say a darn. I was like, why is he keeping that secret?
Finding that plate and doing his rubbings and everything,
right? All of it, because he would have been there much quicker if that hadn't come up, But and then why isn't Marsh there now? Marsh is obviously moving slower than Sazed is because Sazed, used ferrochemy to get there quicker and all that. But yeah, all of that just seems really weird. So
fun facts. So House Locale doesn't have a specialty according to its lore, but the Keep Locale was inspired by the Luxor Hotel in Vegas.
The ballroom was inspired by Luxor Hotel. I think everything's inspired by the Hotel. I mean, it is like
Locale just controlled all the gambling.
Yeah, that's what they were. They controlled.
Right.
Well, the Luxor doesn't control all the gambling. That's a little small, like cheap hotel on the very, very south side of the strip.
Part of the gambling.
Yes.
Yeah. They had some casinos.
I mean, the inside of Luxor is not that impressive. The outside's really impressive. The inside's like
no. The inside's kind of cool because it is kind of cool. These like hotel rooms kind of come up.
All the rooms going up the side, but it's all hotel rooms. Like it's not.
And the elevators are kind of cool. The way they kind of go.
Sure.
So that's my thinking on that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a little bit of pushback on that one.
I thought it'd be a whole lot cooler than just hotel rooms because it made me remind me of like Embassy Suites, Embassy Suites. You walk in, it's all the hotel rooms going up. I mean, it's in the pyramids form, but I was gonna go in. It's gonna be really cool.
It's
LED,
not like going into Paris or going into the Venetian, where it's the
or Caesar's Palace or something. It's over the top. You go in, there's just hotel rooms everywhere. It's like
you go into Paris, it looks like you're underneath the Eiffel Tower and the whole deal. I got you. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
They're the new. They have the Sphere. I don't know if you've seen pictures of that.
Yeah, so there's a live cam feed you can watch of that anytime you want. And I do sometimes. I just put it on as background, like on my TV here in the home office, and just watch and see what's going on in the Sphere. And during
YouTube concert the other night, the first concert.
That's right. This is the first concert that performed inside. And supposedly inside, it's supposed to be just as cool.
It's crazy,
technologically advanced. They have all this stuff that actually pinpoints what you hear depending on the seat you're in. So theoretically, you could hear. They could have it segmented out where you hear someone doing a presentation in the language that you speak. That's how cool that is, and I think it's got
pretty cool
smell-o-vision kind of things too. I think they have the ability to actually emit smells. All that.
Everyone's listening to a different concert. That's just
Yeah, I mean, imagine that though. So like, you be like going to listen to Bjork, and it's like, hey, I want to hear it in my home Icelandic, language, and the other
Yeah.
people are like, nah, I want to hear it in English.
There
Yeah,
was a festival or rave I went to. They had a silent tent, so everyone was given headphones. So you
yeah.
walk in and there's no music, but everybody's like dancing and raving, but it's completely silent. So like if you don't have the headphones on, it just looks like it's the most bizarre thing in the entire world. Because like he's walking, and a bunch
This
of people just dancing.
actually,
And, like,
this club we're members of, they were going to do something like that too, and they were going to have like a silent party that we could go
yeah,
to, and they would wear headphones and
headphones.
whatever. But I
You
was
take
like,
your headphones off,
"Bleh."
it just looks bizarre because everybody's just dancing and like doing all like do the music and like
Yeah,
it's just completely silent.
yeah, it looks like Crackfest '97.
Yeah. So anything from the Sazed debriefing besides all that before we move to Sazed running into an old friend?
Nope.
All right, so Sazed goes to the guest quarters because he bids himself adieu, and he's thinking a lot, but then he turns around the corner and there is another terrace person, Tindril. She sat in the room by the writing desk. And yep, they of course know each other, and they immediately go into talking about Ellen and training and Sazed's thoughts and back and forth. So just what are your thoughts about the Tindril and Sazed interactions?
Well, first of all, they know each other from back in the day.
Yeah.
Second of all, she was sent there by Sazed. Big reveal there, right?
Yeah.
Then, third thing, Sazed's a rebel, which just like blew my mind. I'm like, Sazed's the rebel? He's the wild card?
He's
Mr. Pinned up, button down shirt kind of dude, and he's the wild card. Wow.
In their culture, it's when you have that's
he's the James Dean of the bunch
of the Terracemen. And they even say like the Terrace people are really upset with Sazed right now because he's he already went against their orders once already with this whole Lord Ruler stuff, and he's like,
but it resulted in the Lord Ruler's death though. So
yeah, he's like, hey, listen, I got things done though.
Hey, I'm taking care of business.
Yeah. They'd also given orders that he was supposed to be out teaching, not returning to Luthadel.
Right.
Sazed stands his ground, saying like, "Hey, there's more important things going on than me teaching."
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah. So he's
yeah. So
again, he's a rebel. I like it, but it does also, of course, removes. What's her name? Is it Tindril? Tindril? What's her name? Tindril. Anyway, but it removes her from suspicion of being a Khandra. Because number one, memory. Number two, she's kind of battling him, like on the whole, like you could have been like the new master terrorist person, and the whole deal. I mean, Khandra wouldn't do that. Yeah. So what?
Sazed is kind of a big deal. He could.
Well, he's well known. So, yep. So, but a lot of stuff in that short exchange, a lot of things came out. And then Sazed is saying, yeah, you're helping out our boy Ellen pretty well because he knows the change in clothes, change in attitude, all that. So he's like, yep, you're leading him down the right path. So he kind of gave his thumbs up, seal of approval. So, yeah. All good stuff. So, yeah.
Did you feel any kind of chemistry between the two of them?
I'm gonna reserve my thoughts on that.
Oh, don't reserve thoughts.
I'm gonna give Will a chance to talk. I'm monopolizing the podcast. Will, you go ahead.
Yeah. Well, he was like so tired he didn't want to take a bath, and then he walked in the room and he's like, "Shit, I'm stinky and dirty." So, yeah, and just the way she was like coming down on him pretty hard in a way that like it's almost like the ex-lovers that are still lovers but not kind of thing. So
There it is.
yeah, I think there's definitely some chemistry going on there.
There it is, Will. You said exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, they got business to attend to, so they're just
Yeah.
focused on that for now. But on the side, there's some tall people, terrace people feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand you, she repeated quietly. You should be a leader among our people, Sazed, not the greatest rebel and descendant. Everyone wants to look up to you, but they can't. Must you defy every order that's given? He smiled wanly, but did not answer. Tangibel sighed in rising. She looked at his eyes for a moment, then he removed the hand. She shook her head and left. That's how we end this chapter. So there's a little bit of those little took each other's hands and said, "You could have been, you could have been everything to me, but you have to be a rebel." Why?
Wait. So is Tendwell a eunuch too?
Not only the males are.
Only the males, I would assume, would be eunuchs, right?
Yeah, they don't do hysterectomies. I don't think. Yeah, no.
Well, even if you did a hysterectomy, women would still have the genitalia.
Well, yeah, you can't do that, but you can cut out the ovaries. I mean, that's the only way of doing equally to what a male version of a eunuch. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I've always assumed is the equivalent of that would be a full hysterectomy.
I got a lot of vibes of, and again, I know I keep throwing a lot of stuff back to Game of Thrones, but I got a lot of Grey Worm. Whatchamacall? I forgot the lady. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name right now. But because Grey Worm was a eunuch, because he was part of the Unsullied, and it was him and that lady, and they kind of got together.
Now you're gonna make me.
You know who I'm talking about? Really pretty girl. Oh gosh, she was gorgeous. Yeah, but I got those kind of vibes between Sazed and Tendwell. I was like, it's like, even though he's a eunuch, etc., it's just this like love, thing just pulls them together. And I got that Grey Worm, whatchamacall, vibe.
Whatever name is.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones.
Danny's maiden, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I keep saying Game of Thrones. Y'all know I mean A Song of Ice and Fire, obviously.
Yeah.
But I got those kind of vibes from that. But I felt like ex-lover, ex-relationship. Will, you and I, same vibe on that one. All day. Yep.
Now I'm going to look it up because I have to. It is Doria.
That's her name?
Yeah, Doria.
I don't know. That's not.
That's a picture of her. I think it's her. That's her handmaiden. Maybe that's not the right one. Hold on.
Okay, because I feel like her name was something different.
Nope, that's not her. It was something different.
Okay.
Doria was the
Missandei.
There it is.
There it is.
Missandei. There it is.
I just pulled up. Missandei. There you go. Doria was her handmaiden from the.
Nobody Googles faster than me.
The other people, the people of the grass. No, I can't remember anything from Game of Thrones right now. The Dothraki, yeah. Her handmaiden, she had, yeah.
But she got, well, okay.
But she got.
No spoilers. I'm not gonna say nothing else, but anyway, yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. Though.
Yeah. I looked at Daenerys's handmaiden. That's the first one.
Is it Missandei or is it Melisandre or I can't remember how it's pronounced.
Missandei.
Missandei. Okay.
There's no L, I don't think.
Okay.
So I just looked up. Will, you have
Missandei, right?
Missandei, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's who I got vibes of is Grey Worm and Missandei. So
yeah,
cool. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Ready? Yep. Ready to move to this last chapter?
Yes.
All right. Chapter 24. He commanded kings, though he sought no empire. He became greater than all who had come before. So then stands watch from her guard post outside of Ella's balcony, because that's what she does. And she turns on her bronze and immediately detects the mist spirit. So back to the whole mist spirit thing, trying to find it. Thoughts on all this? I mean, she's also reading through the book or whatever. In other words, sleep for a few hours a night. Anyway, she's reading excerpts from that. But yeah, she senses the mist spirit, and that's pretty much all we get from that.
She says she used to find comfort, in the mist.
In the mist.
And now she doesn't.
Yeah.
So just more of that shift in Vin's feeling in the mist
and what Sazed's words have been, like something's wrong with the mist. And she's definitely harping on like what she just read about, like, hearing thumpings, like alamatic pulses almost. I hear thumping sounds from above, pulses from the mountains, drawing me closer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that comes up a couple
she
times.
She pulls out the page from the logbook because she's hearing thumpings, and then she remembers that excerpt from the logbook.
Right.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say about it, but
yeah. Well, just thought I'd point that out there. And then we switch to Zane's point of view. It's just a little short bit about Vin, and then we go to Zane, who's looking for Vin.
He's looking for men.
Yeah,
it's raining, man.
Yeah, man. I got confused. Wheel of Time, men, Vin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Men, yeah.
Vin,
actually, men and Vin kind of got some similarities now that you say that.
They do, and I've always pointed that out. Like, and I wonder.
Okay, see, now that you said it, I will continue to. I'm going to start pointing those out too. Nice.
They do.
There's a lot of similarities.
I always wondered if Vin was inspired by men.
Dude. You got me thinking now. Holy cow!
I don't know if
Branson.
I know Branson was a Wheel of Time fan, and obviously Wheel of Time was written. Started way before Branson started writing.
Dude, now that you said it, I can't unsee it.
There's
a lot of similarities.
There are.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
Anyways,
I'm sorry. I've taken this on a completely
different tangent.
Yeah,
we're doing the Wheel of Time crossover. So Vin, Zane's looking for Vin. Billy Zane's out there at Keep Hastings. Looking for Vin. That's where he's met her before. Is out there, and she's not showing up. So he's getting a little frustrated. He's like, my daddy told me to go find her, become friends. She's not showing up.
Well, plus, I mean, they do these it seems like they do these regular sparrings.
They do, and he's looking forward to them as well. And I think he has. There's some feelings there. There might be some feels. Feels going on.
Of course, there's feels. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, they do find each other. I mean, it's just a little short, like inner thoughts. Any thoughts on that before they run into each other?
Mm-mm. Not for me.
Nope.
Yeah. So Zane, Vin says flatly, it's like, I've been waiting. Keep Hastings, hoping to come. She's like, I'm not in the mood for sparring anyway. Like,
yeah.
So
she's like, I got a headache.
Yeah, I got a headache. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Not tonight, honey.
Yeah. So they go back and forth about Ellen a little bit. Yeah. And talk about the power. So.
And he keeps just needling her on this whole you're serving them kind of thing. And if he told you to kill somebody, you would do it. And blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I wouldn't, not my own lady. And they do that back and forth.
He's trying to throw little darts here and there. I mean, it even brings up, you grew up on the streets, didn't you? Like he grew up in nobility. Like he's just trying to add more divide there.
Yeah.
And then flat out just says, you serve him. She's like, no, I don't. I do what I want. And she's like, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of toxic. I think he's part of the reason that Vin's having all these second guesses, right?
Easily. But I mean, the best warfare, and of course, having worked in IT as long as I have, I tell people all the time, the easiest way to infiltrate a network and take over or get somebody's security, technology security, is to use social engineering. it's much easier. I mean, can you hack through some of
MGM.
these firewalls and all that stuff? Sure, but it's so
Mhm.
much easier if you just like social engineer your way in. And this is what he's doing. He's social engineering her because she's the most dangerous thing they have.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if he can take her out of the equation, boom, it sets up the rest of the army. Now, what I don't understand is his motivations. He hates his dad. He obviously hates his brother. So what is he getting out of this? We don't know. I mean, is he going to try and pull her away from, Ellen so that way they can create their own like little army or whatever? I don't get it. I'm not quite sure I understand his motivations yet. And I don't
Are,
think he's got the machinations in place or in his head where he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got this master plan set up." I think he's just
yeah. Are you just
I think
crazy?
he's just wild card. We talked about it before. He's the wild card.
Cut the brakes.
Yep. Wild card,
Yeah,
baby. He
bitches.
jumps on the back of the van. That's
Yeah.
right.
Any thoughts from you, Will?
No, I think that's a really interesting point that Orlando makes, that he's like social engineering his way in, which I totally agree with. So
Yeah.
it's a different type of warfare, but it's an important part of warfare.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So yeah, no, nothing else really for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, then they have their, like, I guess, their last little meeting. The last thing he says is just he pulls the coin out, throws the coin towards himself in this kind of dramatic fashion, and says,
Mhm.
Mistborn, stop seeing valiant coins. To us, they're simply just used for jumping. It becomes just a tool, and just like kind of leaves it like ... kind of like,
Yeah.
I got to go now,
Mhm.
bye, and just like leaves, like,
Right.
because he just had been telling her, like, all you are is a tool, all you are is a tool. It's like kind of like this coin. It means nothing to us, right? Because it's just
Yep.
a tool. It's definitely that mental warfare.
Again, emo edgelord type stuff. This guy.
Definitely, yeah. A lot of people complain about Zane, to complete edgelord, emo
He's definitely
Zane.
edgelord all day long.
Emo. I could just picture him with the hair down on one
Just
side.
always having to flip it. Just like
It's just a tool.
always having to flip that on his eye.
Because it says when it becomes ... just a tool.
Yep.
I must go, he says, turning. Vin raises his hand, or raises a hand to stop him, but he's already gone.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's how we end this chapter. So, a little short one, another short one.
Mhm.
And we got a love for Zane in the chat. So, there's
Oh, really? Okay. So somebody does love Zane. All right. Is it because you can change him?
It's usually.
I know that was a meme. I mean, not a meme.
I
I'm sorry,
see
yeah, not a
both.
meme
I see
video.
both in the fandom, like people that like actually, I guess, love Zane as a character, and people that like he's over the top, he's emo, he's just, I don't like him as a character.
I don't have any feelings one way or the other for Zane. I'm fine with him being who he is. We needed another Mistborn to create balance, right?
Right.
I mean, if I asked my husband, I'm insane. Sorry, I love that comment. I don't know how I just looked over and just popped up. It was like she said, "I love Zane," and then Kate says, "Ask my husband. I'm insane. I love it. I love it."
Perfect.
I'm down for that. I will stand on that one. I love it. Yeah, but Zane he's kooky and all that kind of stuff, but you needed another Mistborn to create some levity,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And you also need to create some balance. It's kind of like Star Wars. You can't have it where you kill the main villain and not have somebody that can create some type of sense of balance of power, right? So Kelsior's gone, the Lord Ruler's gone. There's got to be somebody out here that makes you just kind of fear, for their capability, right?
Is Zane the villain here? Like, I mean, so who's the villain so far in this book?
It creates balance though, because you don't really know what he is because he's a wild card, right? Again, he's cut the breaks wild card.
Yeah. But who is the big bad in this book?
So the big bad in this book which I think is purposefully being downplayed, is the Mist.
It's a mess.
The
Yes,
Mist is the big
I
bad.
totally agree.
It's basically like the I think of the Stephen King The Mist, where it's like you don't know what's out there, and that's the real villain. It fades you out of position. It was almost,
Right.
again, I keep going back to Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire.
Right.
Everybody's squabbling amongst themselves, and these White Walkers are coming over here, and you're like, oh, we were squabbling. It's like, nope, you need to be paying attention to the immutable threat that's coming, and
Right.
there's nothing you can do about it. And that's the way I feel about the Mist, because the Mist is invasive and causing havoc and chaos everywhere. Just because you don't see it there doesn't mean it's not having a huge impact everywhere else.
I think that's why maybe this book is so different than the others. And I know it's only book 2 that we've read, but now that I've asked that question, I'm starting to think about it. Like in the first book, you had Lord Ruler. He's the big bad.
Yeah.
Established very early on, and that is the entire book marching towards that big bad.
Right.
And defeating that. And this book, you have the Mist, but he's like only in snippets here and there. You have these 2 armies, but they're not really that.
They're not moving.
Anything. Zane's not really a threat at this point, or if he is going to be at all, besides a threat to himself, probably.
Right.
Cutting himself and everything. And then you have, Inquisitor still out there, Colossus army. You have a lot of these like ambiguous type bad things happening, but like there's no.
Right.
The Mist, I guess, is the most clearest cut bad, but it's not like a.
It's almost like the big bad is the lack of a central power.
Yeah.
Causing all this chaos. Like the lack of the Lord Ruler.
Right.
There you go, Will. I think you just nailed it. The big bad is the chaos, right?
The
if
lack
you really
of
think
control.
about it.
Confusion. Yeah.
It's
but I think if it's not that, it's the Mist.
Yeah.
But because you can't find,
anyways,
because you can't find a central thing to kind of root against, it makes it for a really ambiguous book and plot lines and trying to figure out like how much to feel about any of this, because where are we going?
it's a ton of development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Writing 101 says that if you have a bad person or a bad entity, it has no depth or weight until you actually show exactly the extent of the power they possess.
Right.
So right now,
and we have the imposter too. We have the imposter plot line, which I know Wanda loves, but
yeah.
But that's another bad that's out there.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is that we haven't seen really the impact that any of these things really have. Right. We've got a 50,000 man army. Another 50,000 man army that have done nothing except for just sit outside the castle gates. We have another 20,000 Koloss army coming, but that's not
like
doing anything.
That's like a 100,000 man army, because let's be honest, that's
right. It's the equivalent of 100,000 man army. We have another Mistborn basically doing the equivalent of going around and playing practical jokes, because he's not really doing anything.
Right.
And so nobody's actually, everybody's got nuclear weapons, but no one's actually showing the power of the weapon, right? No one's out like doing like a test launch and like saying, oh yeah, we just went out and we just hit Bikini Atoll and just wiped out like this island or something. It's like, give us something that shows the gravity of the might you have, and we're not getting that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I think it's probably a lackluster book so far for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot to get me like, jazz.
Because you have nothing to root for. It's just like, want politics to work out.
And nothing right now is really emphasizing a sense of urgency. And that's important too. Where's the sense of urgency right now?
It's a very much a bridge, but it's an important book to the series. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot.
I'm sure it is.
It's super important.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee the last book there is a clear cut. This is what we have to do. But the middle book is kind of, we're like I said, the first book we had Lord Ruler. We had the Lord Ruler. We had to come up plan for that. Everything revolved around that. The whole.
And then what's going to happen is going to be this. What do we call it? The Sanderlanche.
The Sanderlanche,
yeah. And I'm sure that's what's going to happen. We're going to get to the end of the book, and it's going to be like this huge, just snowstorm of details and information and action in the last few chapters. But I feel like there could have been there right now could be a better build up.
Sure.
Because we're at chapter 20, 25? We're getting ready to start next week, I think it is.
Start 25, yeah.
I mean, 25 chapters in, and there's barely been that much action.
I'm like, when are we going to meet with Straff? Like, we've been talking about meeting with Straff for fucking 10 chapters now. God damn it.
There you go, Will. That's a perfect example. Give us something there, right? Hell, give us a parlay at this point. They've been talking about a parlay now for like 8 chapters. Where's that at?
It's a lot of building. And I'm just waiting for that Sanderlanche. I know there's going to be a Sanderlanche in this book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's going to be a huge Sanderlanche,
Yeah. Yeah, it is quite the ending on this book. But definitely, once you. I'm not gonna give away stuff. The ending of this book has a lot of stuff that happens that
I'm sure
you won't realize how much stuff happens until way later. But anyway, if that makes sense.
And I bet you, and I here's my theory is that there's been a bunch of stuff that's been talked about that we have thought is completely innocuous that is important, but because we don't understand the gravity of what we're reading, it just sounds probably like, it was like somebody reaching into a cupboard. It's like, actually, that cupboard was a magic dragon. Ha ha ha! It's like that's what I feel like is going to happen. We're going to find out all this important stuff that we've read that we didn't understand was important, and then it's going to force me to reread this book. By the way,
do you think dragons exist in the Cosmere?
Do I think dragons exist?
Yeah.
I mean, why couldn't a conjurer be a dragon?
Yeah, good point.
I mean,
you gotta find the bones.
Look at the bones.
Look at the bones. So how fresh do the bones have to be? Like, could a conjurer on Earth like go eat a T-Rex skeleton and just?
I say there probably has to be some type of live matter in the bone.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it could be like decayed bones. I think the bones still have to be part of the flesh.
Yeah, it can be fossilized bones. I mean,
okay. Okay.
Maybe. Sure.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Yep. Me and Will are on the same page on that one.
All right. Anything?
I just wanted to point out the whole Vin Zane relationship. So Ellen is before everything changed, it was Ellen and Ben with this romantic, like Ellen didn't have to worry about being in power and like making big decisions, and it was like a high school romance. Now Ellen has a lot of big decisions to make. He's got less time to focus on Ben, and Ben, I think, therefore, is getting a little out of that element as well, which is causing her to go back to her like unconfident, like questioning a lot of things. And then this guy Zane comes in. I look at Zane as like the bad boy, toxic guy that comes in and like knows that she's with someone, but still comes in and like puts his little daggers or darts, as we're calling them, and that's part of the warfare. But I also think there is chemistry, and Zane secretly does want to he's just crazy, and he objectifies women probably. So it was interesting to see Vin when Zane was asking what would you do in that scenario, and Vin had to kind of think about it, and she was like, oh no, I'd defend Ellen all day. I would defend him all day. And he comments oh, I respect that. And I think secretly in his head he's like, fucking bitch, fuck that shit, nah. I think I don't know, that's that dynamic. I see Vin and Zane getting into a big battle, and then her winning, and then Ellen's on the balcony overlooking the whole thing, and she comes back and they give a big smooch and everything's hunky-dory. I think that's my theory. That's just what I wanted to share there. So yeah, hope that makes sense.
Okay.
No, it makes perfect sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I feel like Zane is being crafted to be the third point in the love triangle. However, unfortunately, I'm not buying it yet. I'm not buying it yet. I feel like, yeah, Vin's, kind of conflicted and tortured and et cetera, but what makes him compelling? And right now, there is nothing that makes Zane compelling to me right now. I'm like, this guy, we talked about it earlier. There's like some people that love him. There's some people that hate him. I feel like I'm gonna put him in the worst category. I am completely ambivalent to this dude. I just couldn't care less. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, oh, he's a hero. Hooray. Oh, he died.
Yeah.
Oh, hooray. I couldn't care less either way. He's just that he is basically a wet mushroom to me right now. Couldn't care less.
Soggy mushroom.
Soggy mushroom. That's it.
Burn.
Oh man,
You are nothing but a wet mushroom.
That's
man,
it.
I've heard people be called a wet
Next
blanket.
time I
but
see
man,
someone I
that's
don't
like
like,
a-
I'm like,
yeah, I'm gonna start using them in my repertoire of
Please
insults
steal
now.
it.
Soggy
Steal it.
mushroom.
It's an Alando original.
You're soggy
Feel
mushroom.
free. Have at you.
soggy, slimy mushroom.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. That's what I call
It's just-
people. It's like, if you matter nothing to me, I'm like, you're basically a wet mushroom to me. Just whatever.
So good, so good.
Yeah.
Because it's so descriptive and it's perfect. Like that's just it means nothing.
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
whatever.
Great. All right.
There you go.
Favorite character and why is it Breeze? Go.
Wait, I love the choices. So my boy Clubs comes back into it and totally redeems himself. I love Clubs still. Even as brief as it is, still a Clubs fan all day
Still
long.
Grump.
I love the
No,
Grump.
Don't
Bring
be
Papa Grump up in there. I need it. Will, who you got? Who's your pick?
I'm gonna go Osir.
Okay.
Because he kind of turned a corner, I think, in these chapters.
Okay.
He's starting to, I think, become even more interesting than he already was.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Nice.
The Conjure are fascinating, though. Like Alan said,
They are.
Like,
They are.
Yeah.
really
I
fascinating.
love Conjure.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conjure
Conjure
cool.
amazing. Yeah, Conjure fun.
Breeze, Alan?
No, I'm gonna go Sazed just because if Sazed is in a chapter.
You're not gonna go breezy?
I'm gonna go with
You're not
Zett's
going-
daughter. I want to go with the thickness.
The thickness. Yes, the thickness.
The thickness.
She's a thick.
AKA Lady
Lady
Thick.
Thick, yeah, no,
Yes.
spoiled brat that comes in. It throws a. I don't know. Yeah, no.
Case
Say
you
whenever
love.
Sazed is the real is cancer. Whenever Sazed is in a chapter, I do love Breeze. Don't get me wrong, as a tertiary character, but Sazed is my one of my favorite literary written characters ever in the history of
Sazed is the best, though. I
reading
mean,
books. Like I love Sazed.
jeez, this guy. But again, I feel like he's just such low hanging fruit. It's just too easy to pick Sazed for me. I'm just
So
like, I
easy.
can't do Sazed.
Yeah, no, he is low hanging
Yeah.
fruit, but it's just always it's always.
But he's good. He's great.
Always
though.
He's a G. He's a G.
He's good.
Yup.
He's good. Yeah, and Breeze is there too. I love Breeze's embarrassing moment.
Oh man, I loved Breeze. I could deal with a lot more chapters of just Breeze just being embarrassed. Just I would read
Yeah,
whole
is there a
chapters
book
about
just
that. I
about
would read a whole
Breeze?
book about that. Just Breeze just being like just flummoxed and
Um,
flustered. I would love
Lord
it.
Landrian. We didn't get into that. The whole conversation with Sazed is like, "Quit calling me that." It's like, "That's your name," and he's like, "Yeah,
That's
I don't
right.
go by.
Yeah.
I don't go by my name, Landrian."
Adrian. That's right. And he
Vince,
hates
like,
the
your
fact it's
name's
alliteration
Landrian?
too. He's like, alliteration too? No.
The double L
I just
kills
go by
me.
Breeze. There's a reason why I like Breeze. It's because Landrian sucks as a name.
It's
Ugh. Anyway,
yes.
Where'd
yes.
Breeze come from? Don't worry about it.
he's an easy, breezy, beautiful cover guy.
Breezy. There you go. You said it. Breezy.
Breezy. Breezy. So next week we'll be doing 3 chapters. So 25, 26, and 27, which ends part 2. So we finish up part 2. So hopefully maybe we get some final closure to some of these plot lines, maybe because we're ending apart. So
Yes.
we'll see. Of course, Orlando will keep up with his thoughts. You can feel free to let me know if you want to.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely planning on sending my thoughts through.
Share thoughts.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to send my thoughts through, just that way you have them to read them or give the Orlando take on things.
Yeah, and we'll have a big catch up as we do with Will when we get back. So
Cool.
That should be good. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this week. So just follow us. We're at the cosmereads.com is the website. You can find links to all sorts of cool stuff like social media and Discord and our Patreon, our merch, which Will has one of our cups. So, I don't know if you have it readily available to show off, but
look, all I wanted was
I drank coffee out of it
Stank.
this
I
morning.
needed a Ska Stank shirt before I went to Scandinavia because I wanted to be Ska Stank in Scandinavia.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'll get with Tree about that and see if I
Yes,
can.
I mean, because I
I
don't want to buy.
finalize. So she spelled ska wrong. It's just with one A and not two.
That's
A's,
right.
So
Yeah, I saw
redesign
that.
it.
Oh no!
I'm trying to get her to redesign it with the right spelling, so it's not
Okay.
like someone's like what ska bands, like like people think like it's
Right.
something to reference
That's
to
the
like
reason why it's
Mighty
important
Mighty
to me, by the way.
Bosstones. Yeah,
That's right. That's exactly why I wanted to make sure it was spelled right. I was like, it ain't that type of ska. Nope.
it ain't that kind of ska.
Nope.
Bump 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 bump. Some horn section. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So,
Not that there's anything wrong with ska.
no,
I'm just
nothing wrong with
saying
ska.
it's a
Yeah.
different
So-
thing.
It's real big fish. Yeah, which
No, real big fish. Okay. Okay.
I was listening to them this week, actually. That's funny.
The Mighty
No,
Mighty
Real
Boss
Big Fish?
Tones?
are real big fish.
Mighty Mighty Boss Dance.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Both ska bands. I actually it came up on my Pandora, the Knock on Wood song. Yeah. Like randomly like a couple weeks ago. So yeah, it's been recent since I've actually heard the good old Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
The impression that I get.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so that's all I got for this week. So 3 chapters next week, finishing part
right.
2. And yeah, so till next time, guys.
Ska stank fresh.